So my name is Sammy M. I am born again and I love the Lord. I have a short video that I'm going to do due to the request I've gotten on my WhatsApp. I have recorded some few voice notes and a lot of people requested that I should just have a full video or a full audio about what I was trying to explain there, because it was very interesting, very triggering. There's a thin line between knowing what I was talking about and the revelation behind what I was talking about, because a lot of people just think they understand on how to handle emotions, but they don't know how to separate the emotions and the character, and also the authority that we have over emotions. So we need to I need to really break it down for you guys so that you can be able to understand. This is my YouTube channel that is not long established in terms of growth, and I would like you to also listen to this and also subscribe after you have watched this. And I hope this works greatly in your life and it changes a whole lot in your life, because it did to mine. Now, I'm going to motivate what I'm saying through the scriptures, because I told you I'm born again. There's no manga business about that. So that is highlighted with no regrets even. It's James chapter 1 verse 5. It says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you shall ask God, who gives generously to all without finding a fault, and it will be given unto you. The wisdom of God needs to be released in our lives frequently. So it's like having your phones or any device being updated, the system being updated because of the newer versions that comes in actually improving the quality of your device in that regard. So we also need to improve the quality of our minds, of our spiritual being, of our humanity, and also understand that these particular things are the most important things in our lives that we always need to make sure that they're well refined, and we discover wisdom to continue to handle life in the right and the proper channel. So now, I've had the conversation with the Holy Spirit when it comes to separating these three things: emotions, character, and the authority that we have over emotions. It's very important and very simple, but very, very, very much informative, because when it came, I was like, yeah, everybody has to know that they have to handle their emotions. But if people cannot be able to differentiate these three things and understand levels of these three particular aspects in our lives, we need to really make sure that we highlight so that people can understand what it means. Emotions will always be there. Emotions are based on triggers that we experience each and every day, but then we need to know how big the emotions are, or how great emotions can turn out to be, and not really great, but how big and huge can emotions really turn out to be. And that is done through our characters. And what does that do after the emotions have explored itself through our characters, through our living being? And at the end of the day, our emotions sometimes looks like they've got so much power over us, and we should be able to understand that emotions doesn't have power over us only if you understand the power of authority that is given to you, that is given upon your life by God. Now, what I'm trying to say is that differentiate these three things. Here are the emotions. Here is the character, your character. Here is the authority. You must be able to understand that the authority and character must go hand in hand, so that these two things can dominate over emotions. Emotions, sometimes we don't even give our characters and our authority to evaluate the reaction of our emotions, and that happens through us. So an emotion comes like a balloon. that is just full of air, and then it's visible when emotions actually are. Emotions are usually visible when they get triggered. You like they go like, and somehow after they bust, they leave the stains on our characters, and they leave a whole lot of character. They ruin a lot of our characters because we allow emotions to rule over our lives, forgetting that we have authority over emotions and how we can control the emotions. We are human beings. We do get angry. We do get, all those kind of reactions. We do get irritated. We do get confrontational. I myself personally, I confront most of my situation without actually even giving them the time to process them. And that was the biggest problem I had, because now that labels a lot my character, because I didn't process first the emotions before I can actually react. So the authority that God has revealed over my life, shown straight away, I'm not even supposed to be apologetic by having an authority over emotions. So here's an issue, and it hits straight, and this issue is true. This issue is worth triggering your emotions, and yes, you can be right according to how you are reacting towards a certain issue that is coming through. But the responsibility you're going to carry as a person is how you react over emotions. Yes, we all know that, but here's a thin line. Your character is what is created by God from birth. Emotions are added in your life throughout the process of you growing up. And those emotions, the triggers of your emotions, are also dominating according to the environment you're growing up with. And that is one thing that you should always consider, that whenever you get triggered by things, at some point, the impact of how you grew up and how you saw other people reacting towards whatever the triggers that you have experienced or towards the triggers that you have, they are mostly influenced by how you saw them when you're growing up and how you saw other people handling them. And that becomes an influence over your emotions, but not over your character, because you can decide. Your character has power to decide. So you can simply receive the news and always put in mind that before I react, because some of the emotional reactions are very quick. It's like someone says to you, someone said this about you, and you like instantly react without even thinking and processing how you're going to react with wisdom over those emotions. And at the end of the day, you make mistakes, and that makes you look bad, even though you are not supposed to be a bad person at the end of the day. So now, this is how it's supposed to be. Emotions that comes within a speed of a second, just like that. You need to always have this automatic trigger to say, oh, I need to process. Excuse me. I need to quickly process before I can actually react. And if you actually train your character to always have that automatic alert in you to say, okay, you need to process this, it's going to help you to deal with a whole lot of issues the right way. It happened to me when the Spirit of the Lord was busy training me about emotions and actually separating the three things, and my authority over that, because I'm born of Christ. I've got power over everything. I've got power over emotions. I've got power over issues. I've got power over. So I had to understand who I am first, so that I can be able to understand how emotions is a little nyane. There are a lot of things that can actually trigger me, but not emotions to that extent, because I'm still human after all. But at the end of the day, it had to come to a practical display when I was going through that, and I had received something that was quite triggering. And I love the Lord, and knowing how I react sometimes to triggers and issues when they come to me, I'm very instant. Those that are very close to me will tell you Sammy is very instant. Like I will tell you, no, you're not okay. I'm not saying that's a wrong thing, but somehow how you respond through emotions can actually make you a bad person, make you look like a bad person while you're not a bad person. But because of the response you give to emotions, that can really trigger us a lot. Now, what I'm trying to say is that you need to find a pattern where you always have to remember before you react that I need to process it not as me, but process it as an emotion that I have, as an emotion that I have authority over, to decide on how to react on it. Yes, I can still react. I said it from the beginning that I'm a human being, but my reaction is supposed to be the results of my character and my authority as a person, as an individual that decides how am I supposed to react towards that issue. And that will help us always to have wisdom in handling issues, because it will give us time to process. Sometimes it becomes quick, but because through the wisdom of God, you will be able to have the quickest way of reaction, but the controlled way of reaction. So there was load shedding, but it's okay. Now, what I'm trying to say to you right now, and trying to like make it very clear to you guys, is that you need to understand that whenever the emotions are coming in that instant moment, they make an introduction of how people sometimes should label you, and those labels becomes wrongful, or they become wrong because of how you reacted on some of the issues. And at some point you can't blame people for saying temper, because your reactions are always not controlled, because you don't understand the authority you have over emotions. Now let's talk about authority. We are done, we are over that. Authority is the power that is given upon your life to control or have an access over everything that surrounds you, including your emotions. And those emotions, they must abide by the authority that is given upon your life or your character, so that you can be able to handle the triggers that comes with emotions. And that is the growth that you need to find yourself into as an individual if you really want to always, or most of the time, handle things the right way. And I believe if you master this pattern very well, you will definitely 95% deal with issues the right way, and you will not have regrets over some of the reactions that you have and emotions takes over your life and your character and the same authority. Now, it ended up making me feel like I allowed a small baby like emotions to control the bigger person that God created, which is Sammy M. And that is something that I should give God credit to say, thank you for showing me that I allowed emotions in most of my time, in most of my life, living authority over my very own authority that you have created as God. So you need to understand this perception, how you perceive or how you receive news, and how you react to them in the emotional category. And that is going to make you a better person in reacting to issues. The fact that somebody else has done something terrible and you have proved or said something completely lies about you can make you can trigger emotions. But how you react to what you hear, it's also about you processing first how you're going to react to it. Not just getting an issue now, even though it's not worth for you to react like instantly and you're already on your calling that particular person and confronting. That is uncalled for. We need to understand that there are principles of processing issues before we can allow emotions to take place. I'm still saying emotions are part of us as aspects in life, but to the reality. But we must not allow that aspect to dominate over our characters, because our characters are more powerful because they have been designed, they've been created by God. The authority comes from God. And if the intentions of growing your character in the right way are based on believing that they are created by God, there is no way you cannot be able to deal with issues that are right. Wait. Modimo le Modimo wa theresho a re thusa so that we can be able to understand this thing of controlling emotions, and also understanding how emotions must not have authority over our lives. Authority means you can tell your anger that, oh, slow down. You are not going to react through me like that. Oh, slow down. You are not going to contaminate the character that God has created for me. Oh, slow down. You are not going to make me look like a person who's got tempers when God created me very well. So it's you understanding who you are to God before reacting to things that comes around them. So they don't have authority over us. We have authority over them. Everything that is on this earth, we do have authority over them. Now, when I want to seal this one, this is the most interesting part. So I had an issue that came through, and to the normal sense, I'm not going to talk about it. It was so triggering. And you know, when the proof comes in to support your emotions, to say you've got the right to be angry, and it came, and instantly that automatic introduction of wisdom tapped in, and I had to like separate and I saw myself putting my emotions down and like, you're not going to react. And then I saw the worth of analyzing my reactions before I react to the emotions. And I did that. And I was like, the first thing, was it worth reacting? Secondly, how is it going to make me look like? So this person wants to make me look like a bad person because this person knows I will react to it. I'm not going to give smaller things authority over my life in terms of reactions. I'm going to become the bigger person. And the bigger person keeps my character clean. And when I continue with the very same pattern, at the end of the day, it becomes a lifestyle. Automatically, I will definitely, even my system will definitely acknowledge that I need to process things before I can actually react over them. Oh. And I'm grateful to God that when He brought that particular issue, I was able to take an emotion and put it like down, like in the spiritual realm, put it like here. I'm like, no, I am not going to allow you to throw the anger into my character and I get angry and I possibly react the wrong way. I'm not going to do that. I'm over you. I am so powerful over you because I am born of Christ. My character is created and is molded by the creator of life, the creator of heaven and earth, God, my master. And I'm not going to allow you, emotions, to actually play over my life like that. And you feel like you are in control or you are in charge of my temper, you are in charge of my triggers, you are in charge of my character. And emotions have tendencies to use our characters and use our personalities to fight. And emotions doesn't have, that's when you have to understand that emotions doesn't have much power over you to make you react like that. That is something that we need to understand and that we need to recall. I pray that the emotions should abide by the authority you have over your life so that you can be able to deal with your issues right. So I think I've explained it better enough. I'm going to load this on my YouTube, then I'll share the link because a lot of people, I've told them that I will do a recording and I will share it. So this is the first time doing a long kind of session, spiritual session, because this is strictly spiritual. And when God was actually revealing all these things to me, and if you have questions, you can write them on the comment section. I will be able to give you some few strategies because I cannot be able to explain everything in detail. But I can give you some few strategies on how to handle emotions and how to actually, Be in charge and understand the authority you have over everything in your life and over even those emotions. So because you're born of God, you're born of Christ. Yeah, so the DNA of Christ is running in your life. So you must be able to understand that one. Emotions are not powerful. We are powerful. We have all the authority and the power over emotions. I'm Sammy M and I'm out.